This is 70mi's latest addition to their dashcam lineup, the A200. This is their first entry-level dashcam to feature both the front as well as rear cameras, and it can record full HD videos at 60 frames per second. I've been using this dashcam for about a week now, and I'm really impressed with its performance as it can even record videos in HDR, meaning that everything it sees on the road is crystal clear. And since this is an entry-level dashcam, I'm guessing it shouldn't cost more than 10,000 rupees here in India, at which point it would be just amazing. So let's now quickly have a look at this rectangular box and all of its contents before we dig deeper into all of its features and functionalities. At the front of this black box, we can see the model name embossed in big shiny letters behind a picture of both the cameras, which by the way looks really good even in this picture, along with the company's branding at the bottom. On the right as well as on the left side of the box, we get the company branding 70mi, and at the top as well as at the bottom of the box, we get to see the same 4 highlights, starting with the already mentioned 1080p recording with HDR, parking surveillance if you decide to buy the hardware kit as well, which is sold separately, app control, and finally dual channel recording. Pretty self-explanatory. Moving towards the rear of the box, we get to see a bit more details like the model name, battery size, as well as the field of view and aperture of the dashcam. Alright, enough glaring at the box, let's now open it up. Until I take everything out of this box, here are some of the specs of the newly launched A200 dashcam. The A200 is the 3rd generation model of the dashcam Lite, where both the previous generations had just the front cameras only. And as you can see, 70mi seems to have worked on all of the feedback and suggestions received from its customers to make a much better version of the original dashcam Lite. In the box we get a lot of stuff, all of which have fantastic build quality, starting with an 11.5 feet long USB Type A to micro USB power cord. Personally, I would have preferred the Type-C port, but that's alright considering this is an entry-level dashcam. A car charger that will connect to the car's cigarette lighter, a wiring crowbar to hand over the cables during installation of the cameras, a few user manuals in several different languages, a few electrostatic stickers for both the cameras, including spare ones in case we mess up the first ones, or even for future use perhaps. Spare adhesive stickers for both the dashcams, since one each are already pre-applied on both the cameras, a rectangular mount that the front dashcam will rest on, an 18 feet long rear dashcam cable, one end of which connects directly to the unit, while the other end will connect to the rear dashcam itself. Speaking of which, the rear dashcam has another 1.5 feet of cable pre-attached to it, giving it a combined cable length of 19.5 feet, which I'm guessing should be sufficient for most cars. And yes, we do get the option to flip the rear camera within the system settings, as we'll check soon enough, meaning that installing this rear camera should not be an issue. You can place it either straight or even upside down. Alright, now the main device. This solid device looks and feels premium with heavy usage of good quality material everywhere. Company branding can be seen on the rotatable lens that also has a small LED at the corner to let you know if it's recording or not, and a microphone has also been placed right next to the lens as well. On the other side, we get ports for the power cable, rear camera cable, and a slot for a micro SD card having a maximum capacity of 128 gigs and a minimum of 16 gigs of storage. On the rear, we can see the mounting slot along with a small speaker right below it, and at the front, we get a few soft buttons, 4 smaller ones and a single bigger one to turn the display on or off, along with of course a bright enough 2-inch IPS display screen here as well. For the sake of size comparison, here's the A200 right next to my older A800S, which I've been using for more than 2 years now. Let's now connect everything here and turn this thing on. Setup is pretty straightforward. Do note that you will have to purchase a micro SD card separately since there is none included in the box. The device will not record any videos without a micro SD card, which by the way should be inserted with the metal part facing the rear of the device as shown here. I'll link this one in the description in case you wish to get one for yourself as well. By the way, you can find links to all the products shown till now in the description below. The power cord goes in the DC in port, and finally the rear dashcam cable in the AV in port. We get greeted with the company branding on the display screen as soon as the unit receives power, followed by language selection where we get to see a lot of languages being offered. Then setting up the date and time on the device. The next screen shows a prompt that the 24-hour parking surveillance hardware kit is currently not installed, which can be purchased separately. We can then scan the shown QR code to download the official 70mi app and access the dashcam from our phone itself, which we'll check out later on in this video. And then we get a prompt to format the memory card prior to its first use. Immediately after a quick format, we can notice that the recording has already started on both the dashcams. Alright, we'll take a look at the buttons down below later on in my car, the Kia Sonet, after I install this thing, which should take me a few hours at most, but for you it's just gonna take a few seconds. In the meantime, go on and hit the like button down below if you are enjoying this video so far. It really does help out the channel and keeps me motivated to make more such informative videos for you guys. Now I've set up the 70mm A200 in my car. I first aligned both the cameras to the top center of their respective windshields, then applied electrostatic stickers, removing as many air bubbles as possible, then the front dash cam mount, and then finally connected the dash cams. The provided wiring crowbar came in very handy to hide away all the cables along the way from the rear to the front windshield, as well as from the front windshield to the cigarette lighter. And in case you decide to buy the hardware kit, I would highly recommend that you get this set up by a professional only. Someone who deals in dash cams on a regular basis should be able to help you out with that. You may even use these small yet extremely strong and useful cable management tools that are received from NextDigitron, which by the way is the official partner for 70mm products here in India. As informed earlier, the A200 is 70mm's first entry-level dash cam to feature both the front as well as rear cameras. There aren't really any other such entry-level dual dashcam bundles available in the market. The buttons right below the unit allows us to switch between both these cameras, record emergency videos on both of them simultaneously, view all of the pictures and videos on this beautiful bright IPS display, and access the settings. The A200 also packs features like 24-hour parking surveillance and time-lapse recording, both of which require a hardwire kit to be connected to the unit. The built-in G sensor can detect sudden shakes or collisions while the car is parked or even while it is in motion, and will automatically start recording to capture any potential incidents, very similar to what we've seen in the A800S as well as the Omni dashcam in the past videos. Time-lapse allows the dashcam to take photographs continuously in fixed short intervals and then merge them together to compress every 30 minutes of recording into just 1 minute to have a quick overview of the time the vehicle was parked with a low power consumption to save the battery. In order to access the A200 on our mobile phone using the official app, we would first need to pair it to the dashcam itself using Wi-Fi, details of which can be found in the settings of the unit. The settings on the A200 are very similar to what we can see on the official 70mm app, where we can choose from 2 resolution types among several other things. When the rear camera is connected, we get only one resolution type of high dynamic range or HDR recording at 30 frames per second. The tech being used to record these HDR videos are 70mm's exclusive My Color Vivid Plus solution algorithm, which results in a more smoother transition in lighting and enhances the visibility of important elements like road signs and license plates. This should prove very useful when going through some challenging lighting conditions such as a tunnel. And the other technology used is their night owl vision, which as you can see performs really well during night. It does manage to reduce the noise in the footage and helps in retaining fine details. End result, no matter what time of day or night you use this dashcam, the A200 should be able to record most things on the road without any issues. However, when we remove the rear camera, we get to see one more recording option of 60 frames per second, which I think is just amazing. As we all know, the higher the refresh rate, the better the quality. Though I would have loved to see the 60 frames option on the rear camera as well, but it is what it is. We get it only on the front camera. The higher frames per second coupled with the f2.0 aperture effectively solves the problem of motion blur, clearly capturing the license plates even at high speeds most of the time. Both the cameras in the A200 have a 130-degree wide-angle field of view which can easily cover at least 3 lanes of traffic, meaning that both the lanes on either sides of the lane you are on should be covered effortlessly by this A200 dual dashcam setup, ensuring that no mishaps or events are missed. Apart from other basic similar functions that we get to see on both the device as well as in the app, I did notice 2 options that were available only on the app. The first one is that not only can you view the live feed of both the cameras on your mobile device while you're relaxing in the rear seat of your car, you can even take pictures right from within the app. Sadly, this option is limited only to the front camera, just like the 60 FPS recording, but it is an option nonetheless. And the pictures, just like the videos, are really clear. And the other option that I found very useful is the timeline tab, in which you can simply scroll the timeline the dash cams were recording, play the exact duration you wish to view, and then download only the required footage rather than searching for it in all the recorded files. Fantastic option in my opinion. In conclusion, this A200 checks all the major points that you may be looking for in an entry-level dashcam, with the dual dashcam setup, along with the ability to record videos in HDR as well as in 60 frames per second, and it just seals the deal for me, even though it does not have a built-in GPS. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. Hope you found the video informative. Do check out the links in the description below for all the products. I'll catch you guys soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care.